now sort of not post-COVID, but a few years on, people are really starting to come back to quilting. It's lovely. It's really good. So we're here for 5 weeks. Our son's, it's his 3rd year in college in America.
Okay.
So we have been here for 3 weeks already. We've got 2 more weeks to go. So we flew into Dallas and then moved our way up.
That's awesome. Well, we're happy to have you in Hamilton.
I'm happy to be here. Seabreeze Quilters, we're a group of women who quilt. We get together twice a month. So one is a meeting day, the other Saturday is, they're both Saturdays, the other Saturday is just a sit and sew day. So we've just got on just over 100 members. It's really important. It was important for the women during COVID to have somewhere to communicate with each other and to feel that they were part of a group when a lot of them felt like they weren't. Quilters are generous. They're very, very generous people, I find. I think that's the nice thing about belonging to the quilting community. It's universal, so wherever you go in the world, you're going to belong somewhere, and you all have the same interests and that genuine, I don't know, wanting to give and just enjoy what you're doing. So it is quite a universal hobby. When I was a teenager, I quilted, and then I probably actively got into quilting 30 years ago. So I did a course at a local quilt shop and just went from there.
So from there, what drew you to quilting?
I think, well, it's probably just the time of being on your own, sewing, creating is a really important thing. And I think just that the rhythm of doing things, you know, hand sewing, that it's quite cathartic to do stuff. So yeah, that was what I enjoyed the most. I think my favourite aspect would just be the creating aspect of it. So just, you know, choosing your fabrics, selecting your colours, picking a pattern, also who it might go to as well, that, you know, the love that you put into that quilt is for the person who's going to receive it. So all of that, I think. My 1/4 inch seams, like sometimes I think I need to slow down and just enjoy that process a bit more. So my challenge is keeping to a 1/4 inch seam. No, I love it all. I enjoy it all.
Binding usually is what I've heard people say.
Yeah, I don't mind the binding because I sew the binding and then sew it and then flip it over and hand sew it. So that hand sewing, once again, it's that rhythm of sewing is just, I find really calming, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. Maybe 50, probably more actually. Yeah, maybe I'd say 50 or 60.
Okay.
I've got a lot of scraps that I'm always going to make scrap quilts with, or the next project. But whenever I decide on that next project, I always just go out and buy a whole heap of fabric for that one exclusively. So I never get to use my scraps.
Well, it's always fun to go out and get the new stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
it is fun. Give most of them away. Yep. No, there's a lot of ladies at our guild who do charity quilts, so we pass them on to specific charities, and it's all their time is free. They donate fabrics, they donate, you know, we've got a few long arm quilters who just do the long arm quilting for free. So we give out a lot of quilts at our guild to certain charities. I did quilting first up. Just recently during COVID I did a dressmaker's course, but I still go back to my quilting. I really enjoy the quilting aspect. there was a revival, I felt. There was a revival with our guild, the numbers increased as well, and now sort of not post-COVID, but a few years on, people are really starting to come back to quilting. It's lovely. It's really good. Well, I've had a pen friend in America for 48 years, and I made her a really lovely quilt a few years ago. So when we were here 2 years ago, it was beautiful to go to her house and see my quilt on display and all that. So that was a real celebration of love and giving to somebody, a part of me.
That's a 48-year pen?
48 years,
Wow.
when we were 11.
No way.
And I'm seeing her on Monday.
Wow.
I'm meeting her, that's why I'm going to South Dakota. I'm meeting her, we're going to spend a few days with her and her husband. People are surprised when I say 48 years, but and when we get together, we are best friends. It's just such a beautiful relationship that we have. So I really value it, cherish it.
Does she quilt as well? Or?
She doesn't quilt.
It's okay. I mean, I don't quilt. I love getting and seeing the quilts, but yeah, I'm not a quilter myself.
Maybe it's time for you.
I mean, maybe.
Men quilt.
Oh yeah.
Amazing male quilters out there. So yeah,
there's
you might like it.
maybe, yeah.
Don't be in a rush. Enjoy every aspect of it. Just probably buy good products, buy good rulers or buy the scissors or the rotary cutters. Just buy quality, and that's what I've always done. I've always bought fabrics. I've always bought quality, and I think that gives you a nicer finish at the end as well by having that quality throughout the whole process. I think maybe the texture, the feel of it. Certainly the finished product, I feel you get a better finished product at the end. Maybe the colours don't run as much if you're pre-washing your fabric. They're going to be, they're going to hold their colours a lot longer with the age of the quilt.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, you have your favourite designers, and, I think once you get your favourite designer, the quality of that fabric is always going to be good as well, and that's why you sort of keep going back to the colours that that are familiar to that designer. So yeah. Why do I quilt? I think it gives me time to myself. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. As I think I'm quite a creative person, so it gives me that chance to be creative, but also to pass on that creativity to other people. And by quilting, it gives me the chance to, it's like when you cook for people because you love them, and it's a way of showing your love for that person when you cook for them. So when you make a quilt for somebody, it's also passing on your love to that person. So that's probably why. Hello, my name is Donna. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and this is why I quilt.